What's the most insane thing you've seen in public? An old dude put down his suitcase and started doing a weird interpretive dance. The worst part is that this was in a crowd of hundreds of people, and he was staring me down specifically with a creepy smile. I was a couple hundred feet away, and when I looked back there he was smiling, dancing, eyes locked onto me. A homeless, completely naked guy came asking me for food while I was eating a sandwich in my lunch break. I was shocked, so I gave him half of it. He said thank and left you. Then I saw him giving it to a homeless dog who was injured by a car accident. I was riding the Paris metro one day when this middle-aged man sits down about half a car down and is non-stop streaming the most foul, vulgar curses in French at no one in particular. Then suddenly he hiccups, puts his hand to his mouth and says, "Oh, excusez-moi," and after a second resumes his tirade. I had to turn around and hold my mouth to keep from laughing out loud. Right in front of my house, a couple of guys stopped their car, left it in the middle of the street, and began a fistfight. Then after a couple of minutes of each of them throwing more or less ineffectual punches, they both stopped and got back in the car and drove away. It's that last part that makes it so strange. If an argument had proceeded to blows, then I wouldn't just get back in the car with the other guy as if nothing ever happened. A meth head riding a bike down the road wearing nothing but red lingerie. A neighbor hanging from his tree. It was 6-something in the morning. I was late for school, and being late October I drove by thinking it was a Halloween decoration. His wife discovered him 2-3 days ago while driving to the airport, and a woman falls off her motorcycle and gets run over. Dies. A couple weeks ago, me and my buddies witness someone get caught cheating live in a Walmart parking lot. A guy rolls up in a Chevy Silverado and parks in front of the Honda Civic sitting 3 spaces next to us. White guy who looks in his early 40s hops out and knocks on the driver window of the Civic. White lady hops out of the passenger side and a Hispanic guy from the driver's side. White guy starts screaming, "I thought you were the landscaping guy." But turns out that was a lie. This whole marriage was a lie. The Hispanic guy must whispered something to the white guy because we couldn't hear it. This is what set him off majorly. The white guy picks up the Hispanic guy and throws him full force into the windshield of the Civic before picking him up again and throwing him on the concrete before absolutely beating the living shit out of him. That was when a Walmart cart guy runs over and pulls the guy off, and 5 other Walmart employees come over while calling the cops. The woman took off in the guy's Silverado before the cops got there. The white guy ends up getting arrested, and me and my buddies had to give witness statements and basically asked us if need be to show up in court. A man taking a pee while out for his morning run. He did not stop to pee. He was holding his member to the side, peeing while running. I saw a prostitute hike up her skirt, squat over a puddle and wash her crotch. This was 7 a.m. on my way to work. A homeless woman flashed her vagina at me and my coworkers while her and her one-armed boyfriend were shouting at us. This was while I was in college working at a Jimmy John's. Truly a surreal experience looking back. They were asking for free food. The manager politely told them no. They became outraged, and that was part of her response. The weirdest part? She was clean-shaven. Clean. WTF? The bitch was homeless and she still makes time to shave her pussy every day? Lol. I was at Kent State on May 4, 1970. A fighter jet crashed into a warehouse in California. I was going to the shopping center in a big city school trip to see some movie, and in one village we have been passing through I saw someone trying to cut off a street lamp with a saw. A fucking handsaw. Also, I live in Poland, so we joked that he wanted an outdoor lamp, but didn't wanted to buy one. I saw a very drunk couple having full-on sex on the ground at an outdoor concert. Security threw them out, and I still wonder if they remembered the next morning why they hadn't seen the whole set. In Atlanta, I once accidentally walked into a music video being shot in front of a trap house across the street from my friend's place. I was bringing my friend a bag of eggs laid by a co-worker's hens. I immediately got laughed at. A shy mousy white girl in an indie tweed dress carrying a bag of eggs into a block party trap video session. A very suave and charming guy, clearly one of the artists, stops me and asks what I'm doing there and what I had in the bag. I told him I was bringing my friend some eggs. He was silent for a second, then said white girls are so miscellaneous. And damn if that ain't the truth. Still one of my favorite embarrassing and weird moments. San Fran walking down the street, 2 homeless people banging. NYC homeless guy dropping a deuce outside our front door. We were down 1 floor from the entryway and somehow he gained access to the hallway. Actually not that hard. I was leaving to go to work and there was poppin' a squat. Grabbed some paper towels and made him clean it up. NYC Upper West Side walking down the street at night with a friend. Started getting the gurgles. Realized I was going to shit myself with explosive diarrhea. Ducked down an alley, dropped a deuce, wiped my ass with my underwear and threw it in the garbage. My friend said that was the most fucked up thing they'd ever seen. I was behind a car in the McDonald's drive-thru and it had a family of 4. The father suddenly turned around and started trading slaps and punches with the teenage boy. The mother was yelling and the daughter stared angrily out the window like, I don't know these people. They stopped long enough to get their order and resumed yelling and punching as they drove off. I got my order and went on down the street, past a 7-Eleven and saw the father and son hugging in the parking lot. I assume that's a cycle that got repeated many times between those two. A guy riding a gasoline-powered unicycle in traffic going 35 mph wearing full camo clothing and a tall stovepipe hat like Abraham Lincoln wore held on his head with a large red ribbon tied under his chino, and it was pouring rain. I was in Olympia, WA. There was a group of dudes listening to an audiobook or some shit on full volume through a car stereo,